First, live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
And hello, everyone. Welcome to Fox 12 Now. I'm Greg Nibbler. That is our live shot of Portland right there from the Shriners Cam. And I got to say, it looks pretty nice out there right now. So I'm sure a lot of people are going to be getting out and about and enjoying the city while that's going on. And we've got some things for you to do. But before we get into that, again, this is Fox 12 Now. We are live here every weekday, starting around 1 p.m., going throughout the afternoon, live streaming, getting to have longer form conversations about a wide range of topics. You can also find all of our segments on the Fox 12 Oregon YouTube channel at KPTV.com under the Fox 12 Now tab and the Fox 12 Oregon app. So just want to remind everybody of that, depending when, where, and how you're watching. But regardless, you found us. Thank you. Today, we are discussing something that is going on citywide right now and is being claimed to be the world's first citywide Comic-Con. I'm talking about Geek Week PDX. I'm looking at some of this right now, the 200 plus businesses. There's a ton of events that are going on, a ton of things to join into it, but we need some help explaining it all, and that's why we have founder joining us right now, the founder, David Raycroft. And David, thanks for being here. This is, just looking through here, and I'm looking at just some of the different details of things that are going on. This is a massive involved event, citywide, even with a declaration from the city. How'd you go about deciding to do this? What's the origin story of Geek Week PDX?
Yeah, so the origin story actually started about 6 years ago with a simple little quest. I wanted to find lunch when I moved to Portland and a comic shop nearby to explore. So I set out about doing that and scoured the various magazines and periodicals and articles and realized there was more than one comic shop in town. There were so many game stores and quirky little small businesses and bars and restaurants with this great nerdy vibe that I had to pull it all together into one place and created something along with my business partner called the Geek Guide. And the Geek Guide is actually a map, and it's not coming up well, but it's actually a map of all of the comic shops, game stores, bars, and restaurants that sort of have a little bit of a vibe to them in and around the Portland area. It's actually grown so much that it's gone digital. And in the process of putting that together, I had the honor of meeting these great small business owners. And we were talking about how can we help the city of Portland redefine who it is, and get a few more people off their couches and back out into the streets and discover the weird Portland that we all love. And so we thought, what we need is a burger week for nerds. And what started out as kind of a small little idea between a couple of game stores and a few comic shops has blossomed into a massive event throughout the whole city. We were lucky enough to partner with Rose City Comic-Con that has helped us attract a number of small businesses and some sponsors to help spread the word. But at the end of the day, we're just trying to let people know that the city of Portland is a vibrant, dynamic, nerdy place to geek out and explore.
And I think there's so many things that you talked about right there to touch on, but yeah, the fact that there are so many of these places, and and that's one thing that we are kind of blessed with here is that there's a lot of different avenues and different neighborhoods, but good to get out and check out different neighborhoods, different places, and this is a way to compile all of those. And so for Geek Week PDX, obviously there's 365 days a year, check out these small businesses, but for this week in particular, what are some of the key tenets for this week that are tying it all together for Geek Week PDX?
Yeah, so there are a couple of key components that are really cool about what's happened for Geek Week PDX. We started just cataloging everything, and that has led to, if you take a look at the schedule on geekweekpdx.com, there are over 400 nerdy things to do. There are trivia nights, there are game nights, there are film screenings, cosplay events happening. And through that, we actually partnered with about 24 locations to create what we're calling Geek Week PDX inclusives. So everybody is welcome. They're open to the entire community, nerd or not. But a couple to highlight. So there are actually 7 locations throughout the city that are kind of Geek Week hubs. So Battlegrounds Gaming Cafe in Hollywood is doing a game creator contest all week long. So you can create your own board game, and then they're going to play test them next Saturday and have an awards ceremony. Guardian Games is leveling up their game nights all week long with special promotions and prizes and contests and tournaments. So for 7 nights, their game nights are a step ahead. Ground Control in Old Town, which is a bar arcade mecca. It's actually a fabulous spot to spend your spare change. They're also, every single night, they're having a different tournament. Their Killer Queen event is kicking off tomorrow night. Smash Brothers they're doing a special Smash Brothers tournament, just kind of highlighting a lot of the old school video gaming. And capping it all off is the Lloyd Center is transforming itself. So if you haven't been to the Lloyd Center recently, it's actually a little mini geek mecca. It's a great place. It's filled with mostly small businesses now. There's a game store, independent Lego shop, a comic shop, a little mini arcade, and of course the ice skating rink. And it's also filled with a lot of community centered organizations, a lot of nonprofits, but they're transforming themselves into a mystical wonderland. There's going to be an artist alley art market. There's going to be live action role playing, LARPing for kids. There's going to be a draw your own superhero. So a lot of really family friendly events happening next weekend, Saturday and Sunday, all weekend long. The ice skating rink is doing discounted ice skating for anybody that shows up in a costume. So a little cosplay ice skate action. So those are some of the highlights that are happening. But the neat thing is that Geek Week PDX is not about a destination, right? We're taking that Comic-Con experience beyond the convention center into the streets and neighborhoods of Portland. And we're partnering with a lot of different organizations to make it happen. So 2 weeks ago was the Portland Festival of Cinema, Animation, and Technology. And they're bringing the best animators from that convention to Cinema 21 in Northwest Portland tonight, where you can meet the creators, see their films, and actually talk to them one-on-one in an intimate situation about the creative process. Mock Sporting House is a gaming store. Wednesday night, they're amping it up with a cosplay party centered around playing Magic the Gathering, their cosplay commander event. And then again, next weekend, the Society Hotel in Old Town is throwing a steampunk soiree, which is going to be off the hook in their rooftop bar. If you haven't been there, it is a great place to hang out. And the Portland Wine Company is on Sunday finishing off Geek Week with a little cosplay karaoke all Sunday long. So a little wine tasting, a little cosplay, and belt out your favorite tune.
This sounds like pretty much there's something for everybody involved in this thing.
Absolutely. There are events that are geared towards kids, families, adults. If you want to dress up and bust out your favorite cosplay, there are events happening. If you want to be a lot more casual, there are casual gaming nights. There's opportunities to learn to play Dungeons and Dragons and other tabletop games. Um, if you are a video game fan, a tabletop game fan, a comic collector, or just somebody that is kind of into the latest movie, there is something happening just for you.
There's a few key things there that I think really stand out. Accessibility, number one, maybe even being able to talk to those filmmakers and animators and everybody, in person, but also just all of these different places. It makes it easy, no matter where you are in the city, to probably get involved in one of the events, one of the 400 or however many it was, lots of events. So there's probably one near you, wherever you are.
Absolutely.
And then on top of that, there's something else that you brought up earlier, which just says, changing that idea or maybe perception of Portland for some people, and using this as part of a catalyst for that. So I guess my question would be, how important do you think it is, the geek community, if you could call it that, or whatever you would call this, for Portland, though, the creative side, to come together and showcase all of the amazing things that are happening here in order to maybe change that perception of Portland for some people?
I think it's critical, and it's happening. Just this weekend, we had the first annual Weird Fest. Right now, OMSI is also doing their Science Week for those of us that are a little more academically nerdy. But when you take a look at the city of Portland, geek culture is in our lifeblood. In several different ways. It is a city built by artists, creators, dreamers, and innovators. It is, the city was named on a coin flip. How nerdy is that? I mean, it's just from day one, Portland has been a place for people to express themselves in whatever method, means, whatever creative outlet works, is welcomed here in the city of Portland. But we're also a really unique destination. OMSI, the Oregon Museum of Science and Industry, was just named by Newsweek as the best science museum in America. In Hillsborough, Next Level Pinball was named the best video arcade in the world, by an industry group. Books with Pictures was named the best comic shop. It's a very welcoming and inclusive comic shop on Southeast Division. Was named the best comic shop in America, from the Will Eisner Foundation, which is a big comic.
Big deal.
They judge comic shops. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how important is it? Look, we've got a great outdoor culture. We've got a great food culture. We've got a great beer, cider, wine culture. And all of those are geek culture, right? There are wine nerds, there are food nerds. But no other city can claim that they are the center of geek culture. There is no city that has taken on the mantle of being the center of the nerd universe, and that is a story that the mayor and the city council embraced on September 4th and said, we declare the second week in September Geek Week PDX because the culture is so strong here, and that is a story that the entire geek community is stepping up to, shouting from the stratosphere, come to Portland, come geek out. It is a great place to explore, discover, and get kind of weird.
And you can do all of that, and including right now for Geek Week PDX. I mean, with all of this stuff that you just mentioned that's happening, you did mention there's a hub. There's a place people can go to online, at least, to look this up and to understand all the different events.
Yeah, the best place is geekweekpdx.com. That is the hub. So we have cataloged every game night in a 30-mile radius of Portland, every trivia night, every film screening of a cult classic, a sci-fi, fantasy, or just kind of quirky film. Just as an example, the Hanabi Film Festival is happening at the Clinton Street Theater last week and this week, and that is Japanese classics. And on I actually need to check the schedule, but either Wednesday or Thursday night, they're screening Ghost in the Shell, which is a classic anime film with live music from a local band. So it's just these are things that they just don't happen anywhere else. And I'm excited to be part of the community that's helping let everybody know just how much fun it is to wander the streets of Portland. You know.
Yeah, it is. And going back to what you talked about there when you got here and you're looking for a place to eat and go explore, a comic book store. And
yeah,
that's something that you can do here. And as you discovered there, so many years ago, there's a lot of them here. And so now at least this is some way to kind of celebrate that, bring them all together. And it's really cool that all this is happening. And again, this is things that people can check out there on the website and go participate in your community.
Absolutely. And every night, every corner of Portland has something going on. Northeast, southeast, northwest, southwest, North Portland, downtown, Old Town, pick the neighborhood. There is a party, there is a trivia night, there is a film screening, there is a group of geeks gathering. Bust out your cosplay or just hang out with your friends and have a beer in a medieval pub.
Love it. Well, Jared, thank you very much for joining us here to talk about this, and congrats on, organizing this. I can't imagine the amount of emails that you had to go through and phone calls to do this, but it's obviously all working out, and people can go check everything out right now. Thank you so much for being here with us on Fox 12 Now.
Thank you so much, Greg, and everybody live long and prosper.
There we go. Absolutely. All right. All right, and we're going to sign off here just really quick, but just for everybody who's watching, we are live right now out of the Fox 12 Oregon newsroom. We've got more this afternoon, though. So I said we cover a wide range of topics in about 10 minutes at 2 p.m. If you are a fan of Judas Priest, Rob Halford will be here on the show. Rob Halford, lead singer from Judas Priest. Yeah, I know, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So very excited about that, and we're gonna be having our interview with him. So you want to join right back, whatever platform you're on, and I will see you then. We'll sign off right now. I'll talk to you soon. I'm Greg Nibbler. This is